North Node on the Pisces and Virgo axis. Actually, North Node moving into Pisces January 11th, which is also an archangel name number 111. And it's going to represent spiritual growth and compassion, connecting with our higher spiritual truth. It's going to bring in empathy and intuition, and it's going to make us to letting go of perfectionism. The Virgo axis, actually the South Node in Virgo, which is doesn't want to focus on very, very particular little things, but on the big picture. All right, guys, if you're new to my channel, this is Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. Today, as you see on the screen, we're going to talk about North Node moving into Pisces, South Node moving into the Virgo axis. We're going to talk a little bit about the nodes. What does it represent? What is it? Because, the nodes are actually not planets. Those are mathematical points of the moon. And also we're going to talk about all the aspects, what it does during the year. And I just going to mention the major aspects over here and what kind of positivity can it bring in. And, North Node in Pisces, if it has any kind of challenges. And also we're going to talk about each individual sign. So if you're new to my channel, just please subscribe, like, or comment below, because it's really going to help me with the algorithm. Somehow I'm struggling with subscribers. I know why, because I'm using radical honesty. And, if you are doing that many times, whatever you mention as a content, then it could stagnate your channel. But, I rather to use radical honesty than to be dishonest. And I want to really lead you toward to your best self. So, okay, and I also going to talk about mundane astrology as well, because I'm just obsessed with predictive mundane astrology. I'm also an astrologer, an evolutionary astrologer who believes in mind over matter. So astrology, it's a tool. You either going to use the energy for your benefits and, use the energies to prevent challenges, or, you're going to ignore it. It doesn't have to be written in stones. What I do, I analyze patterns and, I going back in history, I doing my researches, I read a lot, like a lot, watching, anything what makes me think. And I truly believe, to choose the best out of even from the news is really important. So you can watch a lot of news and you can read a lot, but eventually, the most important is who you're going to change those for your benefits, for your advantage, and for making, for the greater good, making the life of who surround you also better, because we are here to serve others. And I'm very happy actually with North Node moving in Pisces, because we are going to experience a lot more compassion and a lot more helping hands, because Pisces rules the 12th house, guys, and the 12th house ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. And Jupiter in astrology, actually, everything to do with the fairy godfather, Santa Claus, everything to do with growth and opportunities and optimism and happiness and blessing. Jupiter is a blessing. And actually, North Node also is a Jupiterian energy in flavor, and South Node is Saturnian energy in flavor. North Node is your mission. It is definitely every 18 months we are getting a new mission in our life, or the approach is becoming somehow new to us. Not necessarily the mission itself going to be new, but the way we approach it. And the nodes are actually moving and being in the same sign every 18 years. So the nodes are going in a retrograde motion around the zodiacal cycle. And it is 18 to 19 years to actually complete a whole zodiacal cycle, right? So what is the node exactly? This is actually a mathematical point of the moon, right? So we call it nodes of the moon, and also actually connected with the eclipses. So the moon, also known as the north node and south node, Ketu and Rahu. So that's the point where the moon's orbit intersect the ecliptic, all right? And that is actually the apparent path of the sun around the earth. These nodes are not physical bodies. It's not planets, what I said before. It's calculated points, right? And it appears in your chart when in your blueprint when you were born. And the north node is anything to do with your mission in this life, and the south node is anything to do with your past life, the karma, something what you have to let go of, something what you already accomplished but it's still present in your life, the very beginning, the early childhood. And if you heard that, I'm going to also teach karma classes, and you know how to resolve or ease up karma in our life really soon in March 8th and 9th weekend. It's gonna be a weekend, 4 to 5 hours each days, and it's coming with a booklet and PDF and all the slideshow, and it's going to be very intense, but we are capable to remedy some of the aspect in our life, all right, and change a little bit of the ease up the destiny, the path to the destiny. The destiny is the same, but the path to the destiny could be eased up. So yes, that's what it is, the North Node in our life. And as I said, North Node is Rahu. It's actually Jupiterian flavor. It's like stepping out of your comfort zone, and you have to move forward, and you have to actually evolve, and you have to leave tendencies and past habits behind. You have to leave behind the South Node Ketu, right? Because it's karmic patterns, the South Node, something what we inherited, some kind of skills and tendencies and gifts from previous life, but you don't have to, you are relying on it at the beginning of your life, but later on you definitely have to go to that new mission, which is the north node, Rahu, going to symbolize in your life. And because of every single 18 years, you have another return as well. You know, it is something karmic. It is something maybe you accomplished one mission and you're ready to go on another mission, which could be similar if you have Pisces, North Node actually, and Virgo South Node. You know, you might have finished one mission already and you're ready to take on to another purpose in your life. So that could mean that. But definitely, you know, what we are right now in this axis, the Pisces Virgo axis actually is in astrology, it's the sixth and the 12th house, because of Virgo rules the sixth house, and Virgo ruled by Mercury, right? So the sixth has anything to do with health, service for others. That is your small pets. That is your rental property. That is soulmate as well. Eighth house could be soulmate as well, guys, but that is more like very calming and very, very sexual and intense relationship. And the sixth house is more like a kindred spirit relationship, but also soulmate kind of relationship in your life. It's your rental properties, your tenant, your employees, your employment, anything to do with co-workers. Even if you are in school, you know, it could actually represent your classmates because you are closed with them every single day. So yeah, it could represent that. It is your small animals, your pets, representing your pets, health, actually it represents also private hospitals, and in mundane, you know, anything to do with insurance from your employees, or it could be something to do with in America, we call it union, who is standing for the workers, and also that is the military defense of the country as well. So, and the 12th house, anything to do with underprivileged guys, anything to do with, jail, hospitals, orphanages, uh, veterans, and homelessness as well. So the society what is actually pressure to the edge of the society, the one who is forgotten, the one who is hurt. It's also because of it's ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. Neptune also alcoholism. 12th house could be also really good because it's art, it's anything to do with filmography, photography. It is hospitals, hospitality, hotels, like boutique hotels, faraway traveling, also hidden assets as well, if we are checking finances. And Pisces is definitely emotional healing. That is the eternal womb. Pisces is actually the end of the life. Pisces energy includes all the energy before. This is the 12th house, so it sees it all. I often actually say Pisces is like the wolf, the lonely wolf, the leader who is behind and very, very wise and watching all the youth and the elders, going right in front of her or him and has all the all the knowledge, actually, all the wisdom, because Pisces is really very intuitive sign and truly compassionate sign. Unfortunately, sometimes Pisces could be the martyr as well, and the complainers. But yes, definitely, this is what it's represent, and hidden assets as well. So, there will be definitely in this axis some kind of spiritual growth. And we are coming together, holding hands together and rebuild, because that is humanitarian and charitable activities and efforts, right? Because that's what it is, Pisces about, something to do with holistic health, mental health, anything to do with big pharma. Pisces rules big pharma, alcohol, drug dealers as well, and mental health, suicide, for example. So North Node over here, it's obviously we are moving forward and we are doing something amazing and evolving on those areas. And because of Pisces also rules anything to do with singers and documentary movies, that is going to be actually the 18 months, but is going to evolve during this time. These abilities. Pisces is amazing, not only art and inspiration on creativity, right? But also has some kind of psychic phenomena, something to do with connecting with the unseen world. The intuition of Pisces people are extremely remarkable. They many times selfless, right? They act out of kindness. They would give their last meal to, or share it with someone. And they don't want to be critical or judgmental. However, Neptune could be also illusion, delusion, and gossip as well, misinformation, and not necessarily intentionally, but because of Pisces could be on La La Land, so Neptune is very foggy and maybe doesn't have the right information, and just saying something and it was premature to say or predict something with Piscean energy, right? But definitely it's connection with the unseen world. And the Virgonian excess is, like release excessive control. Virgo is very particular and actually seeking for perfectionism. And very rigid and critical. So I have seen a lot of Virgo in my life, and criticism, as it's like there is a tendency in their life, definitely. But right now we're going to accept forgiveness, and we're just going to trust the natural flow of life. And Virgo is planning. I have Virgonian friends, and they pack their luggage like a month before they travel. And I'm always like, oh my God, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Being me, a Pisces Sun and Sagittarius rising, like a night before I pack for my whole entire family, maybe because of I am a traveler and I have been so many times traveling, so it is coming easy to me. But I definitely not going to, not even 3 days before packing. So that is the difference between the Virgo and Piscean energy. Pisces is trusting the process of life, and it could be, as I said, la la land, fogginess, and not really care about the just the big picture, right? So I don't know if you saw the video with Lada, but I have a beautiful little sentiment what I wrote, and this is actually all about Pisces, and actually North Node moving to Pisces. So this is the one. Ever wondered who the real heroes are in our tangled world? Those who extend a hand when no one's watching, who stitch fragments of compassion into the fabric of our daily lives. They don't seek applause or recognition. They are the silent warriors who whisper, it's possible to change. In the midst of our shared darkness, their light burns quietly but fiercely. Have you seen them? Have you felt their influence? Maybe it's time to join them. Light your flame with theirs, and together let's build bridges and understanding, hold hands across divides, and bring light to the shadows. Remember, the power to transform the world starts with you. Peace is more than a dream, it's a responsibility we all share. All right. So that is my message to you guys, okay? All right, so it's going to move in Pisces on January 11th. So 111, it's an angel number, synchronicity. So it's going to shift the collective focus. And we're going to definitely seek for new destiny. Like something to do with Neptunian compassion and spirituality, creativity, and also enjoy it because Jupiter is also there. So, we're going to have some kind of universal connectedness over here, involve all the beautiful Piscean qualities. All right, so what can it bring for the collective? We have to talk about that. And, if you check the history when Pisces actually was in in I mean, North Node was in Pisces. It was 2006 and 2008. 2008 we started to have a crash. So when Pisces gonna go out actually from North Node gonna go out from Pisces, that's when we're going to have a major crash. So in 18 months, I expect something actually collapse in economy. So yes, weather pattern going to change, guys. And as much as Pisces is compassionate, Pisces rules the ocean. Pisces is the ocean, right? So any kind of weather-related issues, whenever we had Pisces, actually, North Node in Pisces, and we are having also a major stellium right now in January, and also in March, Venus and Mercury going to retrograde back to Pisces. So we're going to have another stellium, and it's going to be very pivotal. So we're going to have a lot of flash floods, and anything to do with hurricanes and climate change. We will need to actually focus on climate change and focus our attention to the coastal areas and on those communities. And most likely, we're going to have some kind of new green spaces in urban areas, which is actually could absorb the rainfall and reduce the runoff, right? So something in Central Park, Miami, if it's a bigger rain, Miami is totally flooded. So we need to do some kind of drainage opportunity over here and around the world, because I'm not only talking about the US, guys. It could be everywhere. We could have a lot of snow blizzards and a lot of inches of snow. And when it's melt, it's gonna bring in, unfortunately, flood, but flash flood also really, really possible during this time. And it's going to be the great flood of the 2 years, definitely gonna happen. Uh, that's why we're going to be more compassionate. We're going to actually teach our children to be actually ethically responsible for the future, and somehow understanding global responsibility. So in schools, in education system, because of this great flood, it could change the curriculum, and the children might going to shift towards also more holistic approach, right? Stronger emphasis on art and music. Definitely, I can see that, not taking away the art classes, but actually supporting finally, which is also going to help the student to develop some kind of empathy and compassion and also resilience. And art therapy, but because I'm a special ed teacher and I used art therapy for my children, they were usually abused. And it always helped. And I also saw their stage of the emotional stage as well through their art. So it was easier to help them and to navigate them toward to healing, to manage, the situation. But definitely, it also going to be an ethical teaching, fostering a sense of interconnectedness and global responsibility to be actually responsible for your environment and the way we are recycling or not use plastic at all, because plastic is the microplastic itself could create not only cancer and the breast cancer, but a lot of responsibility, gene manipulation over there through microplastic, and it could interfere also with the this. It's not new, the gender identity crisis, but it is very intense right now, and the intensity is new, and it could be actually related to the way we poison ourselves. All right, and let's see what else could go on. And, anything to do with integrative medicine, we're not going to have only Western medicine, but holistic healing practices, integrative medicine. So the doctors are going to be able to prescribe yoga, meditation, energy healing for their patients, and it could be covered by insurance. So that could be whatever you want to choose to get better. It doesn't have to be pharmaceuticals, right? And why do I say that? Because of, right now the axis energy also, south node, north node, that's always opposing each other, we're bringing in the axis energy, north node over here. We're going to have a lot of humanitarian efforts actually to rebuild peace between nations, and actually most likely we're going to try to focus on maybe even to be rebellion or some kind of silent demonstration, or not silent but not violent. Definitely Pisces is not violent, but some kind of rebellion act against wars, and to resolve the conflict between Middle East or Russia and Ukraine, or any kind of other countries. There is so many things going in Africa as well, so that is very, very sad. And we're going to try to focus on that. And on the other hand, I wanted to talk about big pharma as well. And it could be like this is going to lead to, because it's prisons, right? And North Node, it's a Jupiterian in flavor, right? So it's actually activates prisons as well. So it could be like, first of all, prison and any kind of society that is pushed to the edge could become rehabilitated through art and through meditation and yoga and those kind of holistic practices. So they're going to focus on that in jazz, but also it's going to put a lot of cartel or mafia members into jazz. So they're going to incarcerate them. Or, it's going to help actually. And in my very first video with Lada, I mentioned whoever gonna win, that's going to have to do something with the borders. Pisces does not know boundaries at all. But because of Saturn is coexist over here with the North Node and Neptune and right now Venus in exaltation, Mercury coming in and gonna go to retrograde. So there is going to be some kind of new boundaries. I told you guys there is going to be Uranus going to Gemini, there is going to be a lot of new geographic borders So in 2025, we're going to have not just like a new Earth is coming up. Pisces is the ocean, and it will bring up a new land. For example, maybe what was lost. Maybe we find actually Atlantis, and it's coming up again. But maybe it is just because of we're going to have a lot of under water volcanic activity, so it could push up some kind of islands for us, which is going to be really, really fertile. The new earth, new lands, new territories during this time. So it's remind me actually for the time of the Trianon, like after the First World War, actually Hungary lost a lot of its area. So I think there is a lot of new um, geographical lines and borders coming up during this year. So yes, what I'm really happy about, that's we're going to most likely be in war against big pharma and the cartel and taking of the drugs from the street. People going to get healed, and there is going to be communities where people going to be able to go to healing village. If you read my testimony, I am the one who wants to create a healing village and have people to either rehabilitate or heal from cancer, and my vision is I think it's beautiful, and I think I can help a lot of people later on, but that's gonna happen. And on the other hand, we're going to also definitely focus on something what has values and aligning with our values and environmental responsibility, something what is sustainable and fair to the environment as well. And we're going to prioritize that. And the well-being of the people. So that's why we are moving away from brick pharma and we are going and moving toward to holistic healing here as well. And Pisces also hidden assets as well. So it's going to bring focus on. We're gonna uncover something what is hidden in the ocean, guys. Maybe a station of the aliens. I always tell everyone I truly believe aliens are actually underwater because Pisces rules the ocean. The ocean is so deep and vast, like we never been able to discover what is really bottom of the ocean. And I truly believe they are there. And not Area 51. They might have some spaceship over there, but definitely it's underwater activities as well. And on the other hand, the natural resources, oil and natural gas, yes, we're going to have that still. Maybe we're going to have new oil drilling because Neptune also rules the oil and natural gas guys as well. Because if you know that I'm also a financial astrologer and I do a lot of stock analysis. So um, that what Pisces rules as well. So we're definitely going to have that new resources perhaps. But maybe we can go deeper in the ocean, drilling deeper, because we're going to have advanced technology with Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini. It's new technology advancement, and we can go in really deep oceans. The only thing is because Saturn is coexist with North Node in Pisces and Saturn is malefic. I'm really scared of that, but we're gonna talk about the aspect later. When Saturn, the malefic energy could be like the drilling, could be like an oil spill, and a lot of animals dies, or a lot of beached animals. Why? Because there is going to be under volcanic activity, and the animals, dolphins and whales are definitely understand the frequency and the resonation, and they are going to come uh, closer to the shores, and it can be beached. Also, the other thing is because Saturn coexists with North Node here, so we have to mention, obviously, we need to talk about that, and they're going to conjunct in May 18 anyway. So I'm gonna go to that aspect later on. But because Saturn also anything to do with what is that? it's actually exploded underwater. Submarine. So it could create some kind of tension and challenge with submarines, submarine wars, underwater activity. And definitely it could actually bring in beached animals. And I also mentioned the cocaine sharks, guys, and I know a lot of people I think I'm crazy, but because of Neptune is pharmaceuticals and drugs as well. It rules cocaine and any kind of cartel-related activity. There could be like they are actually transiting with submarines, the drugs right now because they don't want to be seen and submarine can hide. But I'm really hoping with the new technology there will be like, okay, it's a radar kind of technology which is going to go deeper and will be able to also detect the submarines, but it could come like, like, all right, there is pirate activity. Neptune is pirates, guys, so it's also going to increase pirate activity if we want it or not. And, because of that, it could be something like a whole amount of cocaine or drugs gonna end in the water, and we're going to learn about that the sharks are eating cocaines and they get crazier, or like yes, increase their testosterone more. The bull sharks, anyway, they have testosterone like crazy, so that's why they attack all the time. But it could be something like that. On the other hand, because of Pisces is poverty and also inflation as well, because ruled by Neptune. And, but Pisces also rules the veterans, the orphans, and the mentally ill. So I would think there will be some kind of expansion of housing assistance program. Anything, and it could be something rely on universal basic income. A lot of people are going to probably throw stone on me. But I don't know if you guys read the conversation with God. And I really like Neil Walsh, his name, and actually over there when he downloaded the book, because he actually was dictated to write through God, and he said yes, there is going to be some kind of universal basic income. And why is it good? Because then we won't have crime. I'm not saying we have to give like, people who are lazy or, don't want to work. But definitely, if you think of that, if people are having shelters, small shelters, have, education, and for example, also they can actually have healthcare, basic healthcare if they are sick and it's paid for them, then there is definitely going to be less tragedy on the world and less, robbery on the world. On the other hand, where I'm just brainstorming over here, but Saturn also representing watchmakers and watches, and Pisces is something to do with glamour. So it could be also like some new watches coming out, which could be like, being millions of dollars. And also because Neptune is also could be, you know, a stealing as well. Mercury is the petitive, but Neptune could be like an organization, like a group who is going and stealing very, very valuable, beautiful pieces of arts or, watches or things like that. So yeah, definitely it could be that, like luxurious cars or things like that. All right. And some pirate activity as well. But on the other hand, definitely shelter, healthcare, food, affordable housing for the underprivileged. It's going to be something, a new policy, which is going to provide better support for the underprivileged. And, angels and incarnations, over here, not just rehabilitative approaches, but I said through, and it's going to be human, through something, education or, vocation trainings. They're going to train the inmates, make sure there is going to be some kind of support for mental health and addiction treatment as well in the prison systems or in orphanages as well. And the veterans, I really love that because the veterans suffers the most because they are going war, and their trauma is terrible, guys. Their trauma, what they have to endure, it's like absolutely evil and terrible. And of course, most of them regretting to sign up. Not all of them, I'm not saying all of them, but there is always going to be major traumas over here. So I think there is going to be a better support of Marines, and because of Neptune is Marines, right? But also in general, the veterans who fought for their nations, and they're going to provide better integration actually as well. And on the other hand, immigration issues. As I said, Neptune doesn't know boundaries, but Saturn is there to put boundaries. So definitely it's going to be a big immigration or deportation situation in all countries. But on the other hand, it's going to be more humanitarian. I don't see right now to actually, like taking children away from their parents, or it's going to have more the asylum process going to become a little bit easier, and for the newcomers, who are coming legally, but also what I see over here, the service when they deporting people, it's gonna be more humanitarian approaches because Pisces is in North Node, and because Venus is exalted back and forth as well. So, definitely it's going to bring in and emphasize on unity and helping the one who suffers. And on the other hand, I wanted to talk about that we're going to have a lot of amazing new documentary movies and new movies. And I would think because Neptune and Jupiter rules Pisces, and Pisces rules anything to do with vocals and music industry, then we're going to have an amazing new style of music coming out, and it's gonna be the renaissance of art again. It's awakening the renaissance of the art, and a lot of spiritual painting, a lot of compassionate painting. Maybe people going to filmography, photography, going to actually, uh, you know. Present the evil and the light energies, and actually they're going to put that in one picture. So there will be some kind of catharsis in those new art as well, but definitely a lot of creative potential. And if it is anything to do with documentaries, it could be oceanography, and it could be also something to do with movies about cartel, mafia movies. Definitely there will be a lot more coming out somehow, and or addiction documentary about addictions as well. There is going to be a lot of more documentary, like the truth about cancer documentary, for example, or astrology documentary, what I was watching. uh, those are going to be amazing, and it's giving you amazing, giving us amazing experiences. All right. So mental illness, we were talking about universal healing, and it's not only physical, but mostly emotional traumas. Getting rid of old patterns and seeing the big picture, being in the big picture, going to be really important. That it's going to be a lot more humanitarian project, and a lot more psychic coming up, or vision going to be incredible. And I'm not saying also I already have visions, but it's going to become intense for all of us, very, very intense. And as I said, because of the South Node is in Virgo, we also, as I said, we don't want to actually focus on too much minor details, because we don't want to miss the big picture. We want to let go of rigid routines, right? And embrace more flexibility. That's really, really important. We don't need control, and you have to understand we can't control everything. So when you are not capable to control the situation, just breathe or pray or chant or whatever your practice is, meditate, listen music, dance, whatever makes you happy. When you cannot control the situation, that's the most important. And our dietary, but is that our diet also going to change because of, health and wellness? Virgo actually rules health and wellness. So, you know, we're going to go maybe to more kelps because North Node is in Pisces, anything to do with marine collagen, kelps, anything to do with water related food and animals, seaweeds, for example. And it's moving away a little bit from the wheat or rice fields, right? So a lot of people going to go and want to become gluten free, or they don't want to necessarily eat rice or grains somehow because of the sixth house rules there. So we will see a change in diets as well over here. And we're not going to have extreme diets. It's more like spiritual. What do you feel? How do you feel you should eat? Kind of uh, situation. And the judgment and those kind of hypercritical discourse or nitpicking kind of situation is going out from our life. And I'm very happy about that because I think we're not going to have that much troll on social media, or finally we will be able to see, where are they coming from, that it's going to be some kind of algorithm which could show everything. And then you either going to be able to control, get rid of it, and finally just create your tribe and get rid of, because sometimes criticism is great if it is, valid, and if it is coming from a good intention, and if it is make you grow. But sometimes criticism, which is like personal attack without any reason, it could be very, very hurtful. So yes, we're going to most likely become more focused on mundane tasks, and also, uh, because of Pisces wants to help to everyone, it wants to work together, and they want to let's have the neighbors, let's have the children who are in need. So I really really like those kind of uh, joy with North Node being in Pisces. All right. What else we can talk about that? Let's talk about actually the aspects here because, yeah, let's talk about the aspect. And actually, what I wanted to say, February 1st, we're going to have Venus and Neptune and North Node conjunct together, but Neptune and North Node not gonna be exact until February 7th, but by that time, Venus gonna go to its detriment in Aries. So I'm gonna talk about February 1st because it's gonna be within a degree between Neptune and North Node. So it's important. So this is something very positive day over here, February. It starts with a beautiful positive day because Venus is anything to do with healing and peace and cooperation, and especially in Pisces and exalted, cultural exchange, humanitarian efforts, anything to do with artistic collaboration. And the North Node is Jupiterian, so it's going to bring in social justice, and it's going to focus on harmony as well. And the direction has to be the peace, and the Neptunian energy also going to focus on peace and forgiveness here. So with this saying on, there may be some kind of significant movement in global film, music, and fashion industries because Neptune is glamour, guys, and Venus is fashion. And also, it could be focused on themes of love. So, do you remember when we had the earthquake in Haiti, and then all the singers came together and was singing the "We Are the World," and whatever they raised, they gave affected areas. So I see something like that during this time. And also there could be some kind of social justice. For example, countries involved in conflicts, war. There could be some kind of diplomatic negotiation over here, especially in February 1st. Anything to do like, all right, how can we actually have a ceasefire and resolve that kind of situation what we have right now? Or they going to let humanitarians come in and have the affected area? We know that the country starts with I, and in the Middle East didn't let the aids for the affected areas, and they are really suppressed with water and food, and the condition are terrible. So that's some kind of war crime as well. And we're going to, in February 1st, I see some kind of amazing change over here. But definitely the fashion industry is going to be, or music festivals, going to collaborate and actually help on the affected areas. On the spiritual and religious movement, guys, actually we're going to move a little bit away from the rigid Orthodox religion, and people going to kind of seek philosophy what works for them better, which is more spiritual instead. And I always tell, the fish in the ocean or fish in the fish tank, because a fish tank is the religion and the ocean is spirituality. So I want to be actually the one who is in the ocean, a fish in the ocean, and not in a fish tank for sure. Uh, Definitely there will be some kind of global spiritual movement, and it's going to emphasize unity, and also helping, emphasize peace and definitely unity as well. On the financial market, because of, Venus is currency, Neptune is anything to do with oil, Venus anything to do with pharmaceutical, not for weight loss product, for example, and in Pisces, and also sugar, diabetes pills, or luxurious items as well. So there will be actually an optimism, market optimism during this time. So I can actually see the luxurious goods can actually go up. Anything to do with, for example, I do feng shui and I work through my friend, Amy Young Design, and who is located in Jupiter but traveling around the world, and famous interior designer. And I see something with luxurious goods actually over here. The increase the value of art and luxurious good for sure. Also, anything to do with currencies, so it could get stabilized. Oil, for example, or natural gas as well, could be something which is going to increase in value. There will be a lot of spiritual villages opening up, and they might even go, or you know what, because of Neptune is hospital, and because Pluto went to Aquarius, which is data, right? Uranus is data analysis. It could be some kind of new IPO coming on stock market, which is actually going to be collecting the information from healthcare or hospitals, and people's information gonna be actually out in public, and that's how we're going to be able to seek for. I told you guys it's gonna be really soon when we draw our blood, just one drop of blood, put it in the computer, and we're going to have all the result right away. How can we correct it? How can we reverse terminal illnesses and things like that? So it's going to be really amazing in that case and in that field. Yes, but definitely refugees and climate change and anything to do with poverty and helping actually with some kind of new non-profits and organization. I just had a reading with someone, one of my clients from a long time, and she is doing this kind of career. She has this career where she helps actually on the underprivileged, and it is something very fulfilling. We were talking a lot about that. So there will be more non-profit organizations who are focused on, going to get governmental help, of course, the organization, right? But it's going to eliminate poverty or help the refugees or, help the climate exodus as well, because not all refugees are coming because of war, but because maybe there was a disaster in their country and they need to move somewhere. Globalization, traveling, it's going to focus in traveling, faraway countries traveling. We might even hear that there is an island and there is some kind of major resources, but we never learned about that or knew about that island has kind of resources, or next to the island they can start to drill oil and there is a new area and new source of oil, for example. And on February 7th, we're going to have actually a North Node exact with Neptune in 28 degrees. There is a fixed star sheet. The fixed star is not necessarily very good. It is actually a little bit violent. And it's pronounced like shit, but it could bring in some kind of flash flood, for example, emphasize on flooding, right? So yes, that definitely it could be something like that, but it's also very, very positive, guys, and what you have to understand over here, because of North Node is Jupiterian, it's a blessing. It is definitely with Neptune, which is forgiveness and humanitarian and anything to do with well, it could be illusion and also escapism. So a lot of people might going to use, alcohol, celebrate. It could be like even drug use, it could increase during this time, and that's going to make governments to be enough is enough, because, for example, the fentanyl overdose going to be this week like crazy high, and they have to do quickly something. And it could be also, of course, flood as well. But on the other hand, the positive aspect is that is like we are capable to do something globally, a global unity through this, and have the refugees and have the underprivileged, the orphans, and like more hospitals going to open up, for example. It could be like really, really beautiful hotels as well. And it's also engaging to travel as well in faraway countries, or a lot of people going to go to Neptunian themes. For example, even if you renovate your home, it could be really good for some to renovate their home. Okay, all right. And what else could happen over here? A new hit music coming out, or a new documentary which could get, no, not Nobel Prize, but and not Golden Globe. It is, oh my God, I forget. It is actually in February, usually in around my birthday, February 20th, the Oscar. So Oscar nomination, something, like which is very, very artsy and beautiful. And actually it has some kind of theme of global peace. Something is going to win that could be like something to do with peace, right? All right. And then it's going to be April 21st when Saturn will conjunct North Node, and it's going to be 26 degree, 50 minutes in Pisces. And Saturn is malefic, so not necessarily all the time. Saturn rules the 10th house and also co-rules with Uranus, the Aquarius area, the 11th house, also, long-term wishes and actually also rules community as well, and humanitarian efforts and legal system in like something to do with court cases, but also rules the 10th house of honor, responsibility. Saturn is very responsible, but has a malefic effect, obviously. And the influence over here with North Node, something going to actually get censored. And it could be like maybe there is a movie and it was a documentary which is actually uncover the truth and it's going to disappear. Or it could be during this time, I would assume there will be a lot of YouTube channels who are spiritual people or us like astrologers, a lot of them going to get censored perhaps during this time. So yeah, I can absolutely see that. International humanitarian organization might implement stricter protocols for aid distribution, ensuring transparency and efficiency in response to global crisis, because that's what it is. And also, governments could introduce policies that promote mental health awareness, anything to do with environmental sustainability and social justice. And you will have to get committed. So if you sign up for something like that, you have to sign for 2 years or things like that. And that's the only way they're going to support the government going to support your healings, things like that. But also it could be like, there will be more showcase in film festivals and, it's going to address social issues. The narratives going to be, about peace or mental illnesses and how the environmental or how the way we are eating, it's like forks overnight and things like that. If you see on their documentaries, that's what I mean over here. Also, there could be some kind of, balance between idealism and practicality, because Saturn is very practical and Neptune is definitely not. It's very idealist and, foggy as well. So we could actually achieve something over here with logistic and there will be some kind of reform limitation as well. Just wait a second, guys, because I have to stop for a second. So yes, there is going to be, a lot of new initiatives on balance, actually, something to do with practical resources toward poverty and mental illnesses, and like also using arts as well. So, for example, Saturn in Pisces could be like, okay, let's go to swim in cold water because it's going to actually help you with your immune system. And it's also somehow cold water and those kind of cold baths could be really good also for addictions and to um, I don't know how I can explain that, but I started to do that, and somehow at the beginning it was so uncomfortable, but every single time when I'm doing, I'm prouder for myself, and it's almost like giving me more strength to move forward with everything. And also it could have addictions as well, definitely. Um, so yes, there is going to be a lot of balance over here. Inflation, deflation. Saturn is deflation, Neptune is inflation. So try to balance the financial market out somehow. How can they do that? Saturn is government, right? So the government still can print money and put that into, on the market or whatever, not to collapse yet, something like that. Education reform. It could be education reform as well. But the reform is actually going to address global issues. For example, maybe the truth is coming out. Saturn is bringing out the truth from Neptune, could be fogginess or lies in the past, and it's going to bring out a lot of truth in history as well. So the ethical standards and the practical application has to be combined with every single sectors, right? And that's what's going to happen over here. And on the other hand, is we're going to have May 1st, North Node sextile, actually Uranus. And this is also big. Uranus, anything to do with innovation, anything to do with, like moving forward. It is it's in Taurus. And Taurus is an earth sign and fixed sign, and it's really really grounded and very materialistic and very much focused on resources, luxury goods, and comfort, right? But Uranus over here, it's in detriment, but Uranus anyway is the genius and thinking of forward thinking. So how can we ground ourselves but also be innovative as well, and how to be compassionate at the same time? So that is the energy what we are talking about here. So for example, we might be drawn to explore new spiritual practices or healing methods that are also sustainable and practical as well. There could be an uptick in interest for practices like mindfulness, meditation, energy healing. Frequency healing is very, very important. So we're gonna use frequencies to heal energies, or even to change the structure of the organ, and it's going to get healed by that. There will be also technological innovation as well, which is going to focus on sustainability. And also, you know what, because of Uranus is also representing, especially in Taurus, it's like recycling. So there will be actually something coming up which could actually clean the huge plastic island in the ocean, or trash island on the ocean. So I truly think that it's going to come something in May 1st, around May 1st, and that's actually after Earth Day, which is going to be very great, innovative, it's technological, it's a new invention, which is going to actually help the climate change, mitigate the climate change, or actually it could be help to reduce waste, and something to do with sustainable farming practice, because of Taurus also farming as well, and also to clean up the ocean. And also, because Taurus also the money axis as well, and Pisces is hidden assets. So it could be like, all right, there is going to be some kind of new resources what is coming, and it could go to the financial market. And we're going to, Uranus is anything to do with flying object, or, anything to do with finance, flying object, or anything to do with um, what is that? Oh my God, I forgot. The UFOs, right? So it could be also like we're going to go space mining, and it's going to somehow help also or finances as well. Or something is going to change. Actually, uranium by this time, because in July 7th, Uranus is going to go to Gemini anyway, but right now it's very end of Taurus. So, for example, the uranium could also go up, the value of uranium during this time, May 1st and July, it's going to become crazy high. So, if you want to invest in uranium, it could be really good for you guys. And then anything to do also with, because of Taurus also ruled by Venus, so that's art, painting and creating stuff, and values and morals. So it's going to be, or values and morals also changing over here. And it's going to be anything to do with more compassionate values and morals as well. We're going to incorporate spiritual element and practical and elements in our artwork as well. So, for example, if you paint something, it could be like the spiritual way is like you paint something, so that's the practical one, right? Because that's something with your senses. But you also going to use frequency healing of the painting, or music, put the painting next to it, and before you sell it, it's going to actually be filled with the healing frequency what the person needs, and that's what I meant by that. So I try to explain what do I mean over here. But yes, definitely, and I definitely see some kind of space mining, which could actually bring some kind of new metals or new I don't know, gemstones, which value is worth a lot, and we're bringing it to Earth. Or it could be a meteorite shower, and because of the meteorite, could worth a lot of money. So that could be that as well, guys. And it's May 1st. That's my older son's 16th birthday. Oh my God, this year we have a lot of astrological transit and major transit, which is all connected with my family somehow, family's birthday. So this is crazy, but it's lovely also. I feel I'm on the right way. So on the other hand, is May 18th, we're going to also have Jupiter in Gemini, 25 degrees, going to square North Node in Pisces. And later on, they're going to actually trine, but then by that time, Jupiter going to be in Cancer. So what I do over here, what we need to talk over here, it's going to be something to do with Jupiter in Gemini. It's in detriment, but anything anyway, it's encouraging communication and pursuit of knowledge for sure. And there is, for example, people want to take on ventures, on ambitious project. People have goals, and they actually want to expand their knowledge and grow your knowledge, right? Intellectual pursuit. And the square is Martian in flavor, but it's not necessarily bad, guys, because North Node and Jupiter, it is just forcing you to actually align with your knowledge and communication, and have more intellectual pursuit and grow intellectually. So, it could be new media campaign, new debates. For example, I told you guys, when Saturn and Jupiter going to also square, it's going to throw over a minister by a secondary minister. Or it could be vice president, the president overthrown by the vice president, or it could be like we can do something with maybe a king dies and the son takes over. And because of that, this is very important over here as well, because Gemini square North Node over here. So it could be something like a new debate is coming up. So the person who is overtakes, then it's going to be a lot of resigns, or not just because of, it could be resign, or it could be like moved from the throne, or it could be some kind of illnesses of the recent leaders. But definitely there will be multiple around the world. And this one, it's a new debate, to understand what's going on and actually lead us out from confusion, and, to uncover actually the lies and the miscommunications. Definitely there could be, like something because of Gemini squares North Node in Pisces. Pisces is hidden wealth. Okay, so it could be something to do with we're going to learn the truth about hidden and stolen big amount of money. So it could be anything to do with, for example, Jay-Z, or what's her wife's name, his wife's name, and P. Diddy, and politicians, and the hidden agendas over there, the hidden agendas, and the money what they allocated somehow, and we're going to find out, and it could come to our awareness during this time. So definitely there is a lot of focus on ethical standards as well. And on May 18th, we're going, yes, that's what I was talking about, on September 3rd. And that is the last aspect before I'm going to go for all signs. And okay, so September 3rd, everything is changing here because Jupiter already moved in Cancer on June 9th. And by September 3rd, it's going to reach a position in Cancer exaltation when it's going to trine with North Node in Pisces. This is a hallelujah thing over here, guys, because of the trine is Jupiterian in flavor, North Node is Jupiterian also in flavor, and Jupiter in Cancer is exalted. So it's a double Jupiterian flavor. So it's a lot of blessing over here. All right, so I truly, truly love this. It's everything is enchanted, everything is spiritual, everything is nurturing energy. So, for example, there will be a lot of focus on families and emotional securities and land securities, for example, as well. We're going to focus on our elder, the child's welfare and mental health services, on our veterans. So it's going to be a major social shift toward to greater compassion and support system for sure. Communities going to might establish some kind of centers for meditation. So your local HOA and the community centers, there is going to be prayer groups or meditation groups, or supporting groups for cancer treatment people and things like that. It's going to be more you know available for the public as well. And also, it's going to be cultural and artistic flourishing. And that's going to help you to focus also on healing, your personal journey, anything to do with emotional healing, anything to heal the family karma, guys. That's going to be really, really important to feel the family karma as well for us during this time. There is going to be a lot more single family houses available. So I really hope, Red Rock and Wangorf and all of them going to get out from the single family home businesses and everything going to be available for the public. So the demand and, the inventory, it's going to be a great inventory and we're going to have a single family houses available. And that's why the host prices bubble going to actually burst during this time, because it's emphasizing on family and helping family. It's going to be also like, for example, the government going to support families who has 3 children, for example. They don't have to pay tax anymore in their life. Doesn't matter how old are your children, but 3, 4 children, and you won't need to pay personal taxes. It could be that. It's also going to be a lot about community and ancestors and history and recovering the real history. I told you they're going to rewrite the history books because there is a lot of lie in the books, like it's all lies, and going to rewrite with the truth. So it is amazing. This is something what is like I'm looking forward to September 3rd. I'm looking forward with this North Node and Jupiterian trine and this beautiful energy, because it's going to be spectacular. All right, guys, right now I'm going to go for each individual sign, but let me stop because I have to ask something from my husband and I'm coming. All right, guys, sorry about that. But anyway, I talk so fast and I talk so much, so sometimes I need to just stop the recording and take a break. And also, I found out, like how to put my videos not in public yet, just in private, and how to get timestamping. So hopefully I will be able to do that right away. If not, then I definitely still looking for help, with my videos and everything, to edit it. And if you are from the Philippines or uh, Pakistan or countries like that, I'm able to pay that kind of money. And later on, obviously, I can hire from even from America, but yeah, so that's the difference between the countries and the pay. And I'm still not in a position where I'm able to hire staff, but we'll see. All right, so guys, we're going to go to 12 signs and we're going to talk about Aries rising right now. All right, Aries rising, sun and moon. But first, let me tell you something. If you are watching that for your rising sign, everything is all about you. If you are watching for your sun sign, father figure, career, vitality, and if you are watching for your moon sign, that's everything about your emotions, your mother figure, the way you are nurturing your family and your, family history and your real estate as well. So let's see what's going over here for Aries rising sun and moon. What's going to happen for you? So North Node going to go to your 12th house. 12th house, as we said, it's the house of Pisces. So anything to do with, meditation, dreams, intuition, anything to do with hospitals, hospitalization, mental illnesses, art, anything to do with filmography, photography. So there will be amazing, a deep exploration of unconscious habits and hidden emotional wounds. And you can actually go to hypnotherapy or do some kind of meditation, and then you are recognize what's going on and you're going to be able to heal it. It's going to be a realization of your innate psychic ability and intuitive abilities as well. And you're going to get connected with it. You're going to download information, anything to do with the subconscious, with the mystic law. This is the time when you can actually stop any kind of blockage with relationship, with karma, get rid of family karma as well. If you have anything to do with mental illnesses, with addiction, any kind of addiction, you are capable to do that. On the other hand, you're going to have intense dreams and visions, and it's going to help you to connect with your spirit guide, higher self as well. You can let go of any kind of old traumas that were holding you back and start something new. You can also actually have something like a breakthrough from past life, past life connection over here. And you can start a charity work, something to do with volunteering in spiritual causes. You're getting rid of emotional baggages, and you are doing a lot of practice of forgiveness as well, a lot of meditations during this time. You can start to work on a movie. You can start to work on a photography and art, a writing, something to do with script writing. You can become a spiritual mentor and teacher during this time as well. You might going to actually have some kind of inheritance, but it's hidden for you. You didn't know that aunt or uncle existed. And you can also go a lot of retreat and travel to retreats or start a retreat, start a hospitality business, also a Verbo or an Airbnb open up, but something to do with that. All right, Taurus rising, sun and moon, north node is going to be in your 11th house. 11th house, anything to do with, court system, dreams and hopes and wishes, your online community as well. It's also money from your career as well. And it's luck, it's the house of luck. And, everything going to shift toward to building deeper emotional bonds with friends and groups. And you might going to also create an application or actually create a social media group on your own. And there you're going to have new visions and new dreams, and you're going to have a lot of community involvement. And you might going to ask for jury duty also, or you're going to maybe become a judge, some of you, but definitely there are going to be a lot of humanitarian project. You can create a non-profit. You can do something for the greater good, for the collective, and you connect people somehow. You're going to be the connector here. And you're going to invest emotionally in social justice and environmental causes as well. Your social circle is changing, and it's going to be support and guidance for spiritual people, from spiritual people as well. Your friendship is not going to be limiting you. It's going to be someone who is embracing your spiritual growth. So, you're going to be a part of the collective, and you're going to foster creative artistic expression as well. And you're going to tune with the divine energy. It's also going to be like a higher calling, a new purpose, and you might going to go to a lot of event where you can find a guide or a mentor for yourself. There is going to be also like you want to connect people and focus on healing community, or bring people together as well, like-minded people, creating a tribe. Maybe you're going to actually create a healing village, or actually it could be very, very possible. Maybe, do something with 3D printed houses and creating a village for veterans or homelesses, things like that. You can be one of the person like that. But definitely, you can also get promoted, win the lottery, and also it could be like an amazing, amazing time for you, Taurus rising, sun and moon. All right, Gemini rising, sun and moon is going to happen in your 10th house. 10th house is your public image, that is your career, that is anything to do with honor and reputation, right? Political practice as well. So you can become a mayor, or you can become a leader over here. You're going to gain recognition, but you're going to gain recognition through spiritual or healing work, right? Or profession. And your life purpose is changing, and it's going to involve a blend of creativity, intuition, and compassion into your career. You're going to be the face and the advocate of your company, or the CEO, and everything what you discover right now, the new path, it's going to align with your new abilities, because you're going to definitely find some kind of new gift and new ability that you didn't know you had before. You can also have a new public platform actually for healing, or you will be seen as a mentor, a guru for other people. You are capable to take on to leadership position right now, to become a CEO, as I said, to actually co-found your company as well. And also, you definitely going to be seen as the person of compassion, whose words are healing. So you can write a book which could become a bestseller during this time, or maybe you already wrote a book in the past but it didn't go anywhere, and right now it's going to you sell, a million out from that. You realizing you're meant to be in the public eye, and to speak to others and heal and guide. You're gonna be in spotlight for sure. And you're really going to live your true purpose over here, which is going to be fulfillment, and at least successful in your professional field. And you're also going to release the fourth house matters, anything to do with family karma, but doesn't serve you over there. But definitely going to feel spiritually guided in your choices, in your professional choices for sure. All right. Cancer rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your ninth house. Ninth house, anything to do with higher education, older sibling, long distance traveling. It is anything to do with export, import businesses, learning languages. It is your visa, your passport, your immigration status, right? And also, so what's going to happen over here? You might going to move abroad, or you might going to open a retreat in a foreign countries, and it can be an exotic island or exotic country. Definitely, you're going to travel for a higher purpose. You might going to actually do a bucket list traveling, go to Machu Picchu, or see the Chinese wall, or to go to the 88 Buddhist temple in Japan and go to that, or El Camino. That is the trips during this time what you can do. But finding fulfillment in learning new languages, engaging with cultural exchanges. Maybe you are an exchange student, or you're going to provide shelter for someone who wants to be coming to your house from abroad. There is definitely a new philosophy and some kind of new metaphysical study could come into your life as well. And there is going to be a very strong inner calling about something, about a spiritual truth, about some kind of life wisdom, what you have discovered, and you might going to publish a book about it. You might going to write about family karma or afterlife or spirit world as well, but definitely holistic healing could be as well. You can start a podcast, broadcast, a YouTube channel actually about healing and spirituality and history as well. It could be history as well. Writing, publishing, it could be really, really part of your life right now, but you can also do some kind of exhibition of art, which could be something to do with uh, filmography, photography. But ninth house also rules TV series, 12th house is movies and documentaries, ninth house is TV series. So, it could be like you are going to actually get hired as an actor or actresses, or you do some kind of TV series production over here. Yeah, so it is really beautiful here, and you're going to get rid of the south node is in your third house. Like instead of short distance traveling and neighborhood, focus on neighborhood, you're going to focus on long distance traveling and the bigger picture over here. You don't want to necessarily go to study licensing or something to do with skill-based studies. You have it, you want to master it, and you want to have a doctorate, or you want to go higher education, becoming a teacher, becoming the master of academic over here. The knowledge is power, and that's what you're going to understand during this time, and knowledge gonna be transformative for you. All right, Leo rising, sun and moon, North Node is in your eighth house. Oh, that is eighth house, it's a very transformative house. It's anything to do with karma, trauma from the past. It is something to do with sex, debt, all the taboos. You know, Death as well, and psychology and therapy and anything to do with your sexuality as well, intimacy here. It is pregnancy, prenups. Taxation, anything to do with insurance money as well. So you might going to have some kind of insurance money paid out. You might going to heal yourself from family karma. It could be also to hire a detective to find the identity theft, what you experienced previously in your life. So it is definitely could be something amazing. You might going to have a new relationship, or your partner could become very, very rich during this time if you have a partner. But also it could mean something with sexuality. You can have a baby, you can have a pregnancy over here, because it has this pregnancy as well, and North Node is blessing, right? Anything to do with connecting with souls, and maybe you're going to see actually the people who passed on. So you're going to be connect with them, capable to connect with them. You can go to hypnosis, which is helping you to get rid of some kind of obsession, for example. You can get rid of sex obsession or anything to do. Actually, if some of you are linked to somehow to an organization which has no integrity, cartel or mafia or sex trafficking or something like that, you might going to be able to find change identity with a surgery and get and move forward and not to be part of that kind of organization. So definitely there is a healing over here. Also healing in sexuality, and the wealth sector going to become really good. So if you invested in stock market, it could go really high. If you invested, Leo actually rules by the sun, so it is orange juice or what is that, gold. So you invested in that, it could be really good. And eight housings definitely in stock market, and Pisces is anything to do with pharmaceuticals, also anything to do with oil stock or weight loss product could bring you income. All right, Virgo rising, sun and moon is going to happen in your seventh house. Let me drink water. Seventh house, anything to do with your legal matters, your partners, that is your subscribers, your clients. It is actually your significant other, your first significant other, but it is a significant other. It is a relationship, one-on-one friendship as well. So, there could be like an engagement or a destination wedding, a romantic destination wedding for you guys. It is something to do. If you have something to do on social media account, then it could bring in a lot of followers for you. Your intimacy could flourish as well during this time. You are not seeking for perfectionism anymore. You are seeing the bigger pictures. You see your partner and you're not going to criticize your partner anymore. You see the value of forgiveness and you see the value of spirituality in your partner as well, and recognizing that kind of compassionate understanding and the true love, because Neptune is higher octave of Venus, guys, so that is true unconditional love, and that is going to be your sole purpose right now, working through, like some kind of old relationship patterns and letting go of emotional baggage and creating a healthier relationship, healthier, which is based on, more like spirituality and forgiveness here. You are growing together. You can actually grow old with someone who you find right now, because of that's definitely an opportunity, because Saturn also over here. You can also get rid of, North Node here could like, all right, I can let go of a relationship that doesn't serve me anymore. And I'm coming and I'm healing because I'm free and I flow actually freer with all the energy around me. So it could also bring in a blessing ending as well. All right, Libra rising sun and moon. It's going to happen in your sixth house. Sixth house, anything to do with your rental properties, health, anything to do with your daily routine, service for others, your pets, your employees, your employment, your tenant, your roommate, private hospitals, military defense, if you are working in, in union, for example, or for union, you might going to get actually a health insurance from the company you work for. Your daily routine is changing. It's going to be very purposeful. You're going to have a lot of self-care, and you're also going to help others as well as professional. Also, you might going to become a nurse or therapist or a wellness coach, a yoga studio. You can open a gym or what is that? Like not just gym. Supplementation store or a juice bar. You can open those kind of things, and definitely fulfillment overall in your well-being. You're going to aim for the perfect weight and the perfect health, and yeah, it's a spiritual and it's a spiritual grow, but because of the spiritual growth and everything is aligning, your health also healing. It's a miraculous healing, especially when North Node and Neptune going to conjunct, or also Venus over here. You might going to get hired in February, and it's gonna be your dream job, or you can hire a lot of people, maybe foreigners, overseas people, right? Or you might going to actually have an Airbnb in a foreign country. You can actually have a retreat center somewhere exotic places. Yeah, but definitely you can create if you have a lot of employees, you might going to create a yoga and meditation room for them, or the employer does that for you, so you will feel really good about yourself. Scorpio rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your fifth house. Fifth house, anything to do your investment, your lover, your kids, your creative project, joy and pleasure. So, your life is going to get a lot better. Investment going to pay off. Anything to do with artistic, field. Maybe you're gonna get a manager or an agent who is going to move you forward. Maybe you finish your film, your book, and it's going to get published. New hobbies, but the hobby is going to give you a lot of passion and fulfillment, and it's spiritual as well. And your creativity going to be out of, like it's going to be extremely great. You can do something, as I said, with dancing as well, self-expression, you're healing emotional wounds. You are actually can connect with some kind of romantic nature with someone, and you also can get pregnant and get a baby during this time. Or if you're not, you're going to be really, really proud about your baby if you have children, or proud about the baby that you are creating through creativity. So, that it's going to be, or you can also connect with your inner child and heal your inner child. That it's going to be a soul path that you are realizing, but it has to have a creative expression, something to do with art, hobbies. Fifth house also a league. It could be a sport league, so you might going to get into a league and you're going to be really, really happy, or maybe your child going to get in a league and you're going to be happy about that. Definitely, you're going to let go of some kind of people from society, from your friends who are not serving you anymore, or who was rude to your project or children or your lover. So it could be that for you, Scorpios. You're getting rid of people who were not there for you. All right, Sagittarius rising, sun, and moon. It's gonna happen in our fourth house, all right, if you are a rising. And fourth house, anything to do with family history, anything to do with living situation, that is a new house for you, a new home environment, and it's going to be your dream home. Don't forget, Venus is back and forth in exaltation over here. It's going to create something beautiful that you really, really wanted. You're also going to hear some kind of family karma, family bond, definitely. And also you're going to feel called to reconnect with your roots as well, with your ancestry. You might going to do a genetic testing, or, like those kind of spitting in that little tube and find out who is your ancestors. And anything to do with emotional fulfillment and intimate connection with your loved ones. And it's going to be also like you create something beautiful at home. Maybe you're just going to renovate a home, buy a new home, sell some for profit, but also it could be something, an inheritance could come in through an older people exiting over here. But definitely you're going to be able to connect with yourself and your creativity. More cooking, for example, home cooking, more gardening, more time with your family, creating traditions, which is a lifetime of traditions, and it's going to be new kind of rituals, but the family, your children going to love as well. Uh, yeah, so I really love that for you guys, because of if you want to actually put an extra room, or renovate your bathrooms, or your where you sleep, buy a new bed, for example, which is very comfortable, and things like that. It could happening for you during this time, but I definitely see a lot of you going to move. Capricorn rising, sun and moon is going to happen in your third house. All right, guys. So what's going to happen over here? Third house, anything to do with your skill-based study, anything to do with craftsmanship, anything to do with your neighbors, your younger siblings, niece, nephew, uncle, aunts, or relatives over here, short distance traveling, community as well. All right, licensing applications. So creating a new app, it's possible for you connect with new people in the neighborhood, becoming actually the head of the community, the leader of the community, a mayor, a district attorney, things like that could happening for some of you. Anything to do with communicating in writing, voice. So, for example, you might going to have a spiritual breakthrough and you're gonna write a book, or you're going to open a karaoke bar for the community, or a meditation group or praying group, and you're going to be the leader over there. Definitely, you're going to have a lot more meaningful way to connect with your siblings, even if you have been and estranged. That's how you say that, yes. And Yeah, so even if you didn't have a good relationship with your siblings, right now you can reconnect. You can start a blog, or you can actually recreate your website and sell stuff on website. You can have a new car as well. But definitely your voice is getting healed. If you had something nodal on your thyroids or on your vocal cord, it could get healed. So some kind of amazing opportunity also, if you had Hashimoto or Graves' disease, could get healed over here. And you're going to find spiritual fulfillment in speaking and teaching. So you can do an online course as well, either to do it or either to teach it. All right, Aquarius rising sun and moon, North Node is in your second house in Pisces, so anything to do with second house, which is values, morals, it is the food what you eat, it is anything to do with your garden or farm as well, anything to do with your finances, the money what you earn, your wallet, okay? And your values. So your personal values is going to change. There is going to be a lot more material resources available for you. You know, if you invested previously, it could be actually really great. You can invest in undeveloped land or farmland, or anything to do with beef meat on stock market could be also really good. Oil as well, anything Piscean. So because of second house also ruled by Venus in Taurus, right, in originally, so it could be weight loss products as well. And, you know, you're going to change your diet. You're going to be more mindful and more spiritual the way you connect with your food. You might going to start to pray or give grace before you start to eat if you haven't done that before. It could be a lot of new creativity. You might going to find a new hobby, a sidekick job, which is actually could bring in, it is your talent. It's a new talent, you know, and it's going to bring in some kind of security financially, this new talent. Maybe you're going to sell on Etsy some kind of art you create, or your supplementation store, or you create cleaning products, things like that, which is very, very earth friendly, something like that. So it's new. You're going to attract abundance into your life, but somehow, because of you are aligned spirituality, maybe you're going to have a new spiritual practice and it could align you. So when it happened with me, I became Buddhist and I started to do the Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and it started to an instant gratification for me, I really loved it. So you can have something like that. Maybe it's a spiritual practice, and it's going to be instant success and satisfaction. Because it's aligning with your true nature, it's aligning with you, and the affirmation going to start to work, right? So your values are changing. They're going to be more, you might going to inherit a beautiful artwork, which costs a lot of money, or you might going to get a beautiful bling bling from your significant other, which is like a lot of money. All right. Okay, let me put that because Zoom meeting is canceled. Okay. All right. So, you know, that's what's going to happen for you. Abundance, abundance, abundance. All right. Pisces rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your first house. You are one of the golden child of the zodiac. If you have a sun or moon or rising sign in Pisces or a stellium, you know, first house, anything to do with you, anything to do with your self identity, your confidence, the way you represent yourself and your company, your outlook, the mask what you wear. So you're going to be very optimistic, really authentic, and really, really spiritual. Your purpose is going to involve something with art, or the way you are express yourself. It's going to be beautiful and glamorous, and the self-expression is going to be different. So you just want to change. You just want to change the mask on you and the way people are looking at you. So you're going to go through a major transformation, and not only spiritually, but you know, the outlook, your haircut, new wardrobe, you know, losing weight and getting to actually to your true authentic self, and getting into that kind of skin over here. And there will be a lot of emotional healing as well coming toward to you. You're going to embrace your unique gift. The tools what you are having, it's going to be holistic, or the holistic healing is absolutely miraculous. Healing is possible during this time. Anything to do with arts of painting or singing or dancing. You can start a ballroom class, you can start a paint class. You can actually open up a sip and paint kind of little tribal place for people where they can get connected, or a meditation center, or you're going to open up a healing center, finally, what you wanted to do for a long time. That it's not going to be self-doubt and limitation. You're not going to criticize yourself anymore. You're going to use a different language with yourself, which is going to be more forgiving and compassionate with yourself. And that's why you're going to change the way you look also. But definitely a major personal transformation, a new job, a new career. You are actually trusting yourself. You're trusting your inner guidance, your inner child, and your spiritual guide, definitely. And that's who you are connecting with, your higher self. So that is definitely going to be a major, amazing, possible opportunity for you, with creativity, with move, with new family, maybe engagement. So because of it's in the first house, everything is changing about you, and most of them going to be very, very positive. Pisces rising sun and moon. All right, guys, if you loved my videos, I'm here for you. I'm here to help. And I would like you to subscribe and comment below. Doesn't matter if it's a thank you, or you just tell me how did it unfold for you, or like what else do you see actually in general. And I would like to hear about that. Thank you so much for listening, liking, subscribing, being here with me, and supporting my journey as I support yours. I will be back with actually the full moon on January 13th, and I also coming up with more video between Mars and North Node trine soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.